Okay, yeah. So I was saying I was actually very happy when England won the World Cup, and the reasons are kind of similar. So when England won the World Cup, I was happy because England, although it might not be a superpower in terms of political power, but it's a superpower in terms of sporting achievements or sporting events. So when England wins a sporting event, the whole world takes notice of it. So even
Mm.
though, for example, Spain as a country might not play cricket that much, but when England wins a World Cup, the whole of Europe actually watches that. Okay, England won a cricket World Cup. Now probably it might raise some interest in people about the game, and it might raise some information knowledge or whatever about the game. So I was actually happy when England won the World Cup for those reasons.
That is a very good
And yeah,
point,
I
to be
totally
fair.
agree, the big 3 point. I
Hmm.
mean, I kind of agree to both parts. Why India doesn't want it to become an Olympic sport, because India actually generates 70% of revenue, like
Yeah.
70% of total world cricket revenue. So that
Mm.
is actually a lot. And when it's said that you have to now share your revenue with the associate nations who actually bring in, okay, it started raining again.
Yes, it started raining again. Yeah.
Oh my God. English weather.
Yeah,
English weather.
English. Well, yeah.
We are talking about England.
How are these guys the people who invented cricket? How did they even come up with cricket with such bad weather?
Oh my God. Maybe they had 100-year spell where it just didn't rain and they got lucky. I don't know. Good God.
And no, I think they could because they were playing for like unlimited days, right? They didn't have a time of 5 days,
Yeah.
right? They were like,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's play today. Today is Sunday.
Let's just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So coming to the next question or next whatever. Okay. You guys have a very nice cricket YouTube page. How does it feel to have a YouTube page which uploads highlights of the actual match just minutes after the plays after the day's play is done? Because us as Indians, if we want to watch highlights, you have to go to BCCI's website, and then they have that shitty user interface that you have to like uh, almost jump over to actually get the highlights of the match. So I don't know, how does that work? How does it feel to have a nice YouTube page? Because us as
it is.
Indians, we are glad that you have that YouTube page. We were actually very happy when we used to get highlights of the Border Gavaskar Trophy for that
Mm.
2 months
Yeah.
when we were watching the test highlights. We were very glad.
It is. It is great because it is incredible to, if you've missed a game or you've missed a day's play, as soon as it's over, you can just
Yeah.
go onto the YouTube page and it will be up within half an hour. And
Yeah.
it does offer me some perspective as well because, Australians, I've talked to people like we get grumpy when it's like, oh, ECB hasn't uploaded the highlights. It's half an hour after the game because we're just used to that exceptional service. Because even the Big
Yeah.
Bash, they're up
Yeah.
maybe an hour or so after the game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
until I tried to find highlights for, I think it was the England v India series just after Border Gavaskar Trophy, I
Yeah.
didn't know it was only on BCCI TV. So I searched and I searched and I searched and I couldn't find anything. I'm like, oh my God, we are so lucky with our highlights. And
Yeah.
it's like that with the AFL as well. They're uploaded within a day maximum for all their games. So we seem to be pretty good at running YouTube channels.
Yeah. Also, if you
Yeah.
search BCCI on YouTube, you will find number of fake accounts, but not one proper account. There are all just fake accounts of BCCI. And yeah, like Suryan said,
Oh.
BCCI.tv is it's a headache. Like you can't find anything if you want there. Like
Oh.
not that Star and Sony are really good at live streaming matches, but yeah, BCCI TV is a level up in being shitty.
It's almost like a hurdle that you have to jump over. Like to get the actual highlights, you have to like find it through so many shitty videos of like there are genuinely shitty videos, okay, of like ex cricket players talking about recent cricket players and giving shitty analogies. Like you could find that over the match highlights that you actually want to see. So
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Surely as well, this is a really outside perspective that they could see that YouTube is such a big market and they just like, okay, we're going to put up some decent highlights. Like, if there were English highlights for that series, I am sure millions of people would watch it. Like
no, but
Australian
the problem is,
people
I
would watch it.
think Hotstar and these guys, Sony. So these are the two main broadcasters in India, sports broadcasters in India. I think they have exclusive rights. They probably have it in the contract that you can't share it on YouTube because then people won't actually purchase
Buy
their
their
success.
service.
Yeah. Then at least
Mm.
Star should upload those highlights on YouTube. Like
Mm.
even that
Yeah.
doesn't happen. Like clips are uploaded, like 10-second clips or 30-second clips.
And they upload the celebration clips. Okay, like suppose Virat Kohli scores a century, so they'll upload a 15-second clip of Virat Kohli raising his bat, but they won't actually show at least the shot that he scored a century with. At least show that one
Oh
run
my
or
God.
that double.
Yeah.
Which, well, I'm getting it. As Australia is just blessed with high quality highlights. Like
Yeah.
we take it for granted as well. Like we whinge at our soccer highlights being 2 minutes long. There is arguments about that, and it seems on another perspective we get it so lucky. Like, good
Yeah,
gosh.
you do.
Yes,
You
you do.
do.
Okay.
Uh,
Moving on. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on cricket and Olympics?
I'm in favour on a broad basis because I think it will give a chance for associate nations to gain a bit more attention and hopefully gain a bit more money to spend on infrastructure and see what the better teams are doing, maybe because they could like mingle with the Australian or the Indian team and see, okay, this is how you train, this is how your selection process works.
Right.
So it could be more streamlined, but it will be complex getting it to work because you can't just play it in half an hour. It's going to have to be at least like a T10 or 100 ball tournament, and qualifying for that as well is going to take a while.
Right.
It's like the football at the Olympics. I considered maybe they should limit it to under 23s as well, like the football, but that also might not be enticing enough for nations to get involved. So it will be complex.
Yeah, it will be complex.
Also, then you can't have cricket at the English Olympics, right? Because in 2 weeks there's no way that you're going to have X number of matches getting completed in like those 2 weeks. There's no way that's happening.
They're going to have to stretch out qualifying over such a long period of time. And then you have questions about where are they going to be played? Are the boards going to be happy with maybe making less money? And things like that. There's a lot of hurdles they need to get through in the next 7 or 8 years.
Also, ICC said that they're trying to include it in the 2028 Olympics. So suppose it gets included. So I think it's going to be in USA, right?
LA,
LA.
LA. So are there enough grounds there to have like 5 matches consecutively going on at the same time? I don't think so.
Unless they use baseball grounds, which I don't think the baseball teams would allow us to, because it means we have to dig up part of their playing field. I don't know. Like LA probably doesn't have a massive cricket community other than maybe suburban grounds where expats are playing. So like you said, someone said to me, I think it would be far more viable to put it in 2032 when it's in Brisbane and we've got a whole bunch of grounds, even if they make qualifying matches all over Australia. Like, that could work far better.
So coming to my last question for you. What are your thoughts on the 100? Is it a boon or a bane to world cricket in general?
I think it's been exceptional for the women's game. I think that has been a massive plus out of this tournament because it is giving so much more attention than like the WBBL or the Women's Blast have done.
Right.
I think we can only really tell commercial figures. I think they are a bit over because it is on free television in the UK, whereas Test cricket is exclusively on Sky for most matches. So I think Michael Vaughan saying, we got 1.6 million viewers, I think Test cricket would get more than that. But even then, for a breakthrough competition, it is pretty good. However, I don't like some of the rule changes. I think it is a bit like of a festival camp atmosphere to some extent. But having said that, I think we have to give it a couple more years before we judge it, because from reports of English people, families are going and it is less of a drunken atmosphere than there is at the Blast, for example.
So what I like something that I liked about the 100 was that the women's league and the men's league are at par. They have the same number of teams. They are playing with the men playing, right? So there are matches. I think there are matches clashing also, right?
I think so, yes.
Some of the matches are clashing. But I just can't with runs per ball. Like, go home with your runs per ball. I can't deal with runs per ball. It should have been runs per 5. I am telling. What is runs per ball? Even the batsman's strike rate is counted according to runs per ball, and it just messes with my mind. So
Yeah,
it is
some of the
like for a
things are
chess
really
player to
gimmicky.
play the black piece first. It is that confusing. What is runs per ball?
It is a bit gimmicky, some of the things like that, and it's just how far are you willing to take the game before it doesn't resemble cricket anymore? It's just, I think there are positives to it, but some parts of it are just, we've changed things just to be different. And
Yeah,
it is a bit
Yeah.
contentious doing that.
right.
The whole point of it is, I think, if it's successful, it may probably get implemented in the Olympics. I think that is the only
Yes.
positive that I'm taking out of
Mm.
it. Like, apart from the women's part, I think for
Mhm.
the men's part, like, probably the associate nations can understand it. It's probably easier to understand for them. But for people who are actually who already know about cricket, to unlearn that knowledge and then to learn this format again. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to unlearn everything, but then the whole concept is different, right? Strike rate and runs per ball. So,
Mm.
for example, if a batsman is striking at 99, you know that he's playing okay in ODIs. But then
Mhm.
when you see a batsman is scoring 0.99 runs per ball,
Yeah. Oh, it's just, oh, thinking about this just
yeah,
feels a bit wrong. It's just not like cricket. Like a stat like that, I'd associate something like that with maybe a football stat of like goals and assists per
yeah,
90 minutes or something.
exactly.
Like Lionel Messi getting 0.7 or something, or like 1.4 goals
Yeah,
and assists per 90. I don't see like decimal stats related to cricket. It just seems a bit wrong.
exactly.
Also, they have made they have declared it like it will not be called an over. It will be called a five. All this and then cricket for once.
Oh,
Cricket for once just mistakenly typed like now someone will start an over, and then the feedback comment came, oh, you said over, like they were pointing it out.
Also,
oh.
the stats are included in 2020s, right? Like the
Yeah, the
100
stats
stats
Yes,
are
are
they
the
are.
included
same
in
ones for the
2020, not
They
different for
are.
the 100. Yeah,
Uh,
so much for
that's a bit.
nothing. It is just so much for nothing. Hopefully, it is successful later. I'm not just being an elitist. Hopefully, it will be successful later.
Hopefully, it does do well. Yeah, you got to wish. It is cricket, of course, even if it is different,
Yeah,
and it has done some good things, even if it is confusing and gimmicky at times.
yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
So
Okay, so do you have any questions for us, or like, do we end this here?
I did prepare some questions. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did prepare some of them. We don't have to answer all of them. I'll try to combine some of them. So what is the like standard of first class cricket in India? Like, could you compare it to the Sheffield Shield or something? And who is an exceptional player in first class level who should be getting noticed more overseas and be called up for India?
yeah.
Okay, so you want to take this one, or I'll go?
Yeah, we'll both talk about it. So we did an
Yeah.
interview with an under 19 cricketer. Like I'm calling him under 19 because he has played for India in under 19 and under 23. He was the under 19 captain for India, Aryan Juyar. And we had asked him the question like, how is BCCI treating the first class cricket? And he had said that it's really good because BCCI generates a lot of revenue from IPL, right? So all this
Mhm.
money gets invested in the first class and the listed tournaments for India, and that has helped them a lot because even the first class cricketers, they stay in good hotels when they are visiting a different state. So that is really good. And going to pitches, there are like fast bowling pitches are not as conducive like India. They don't come up easily in India. So yeah, there are
Yeah.
spin friendly wickets, but also I think it is a little bit batting heavy. It is a very nice to see a bowler dominating, but it is generally batting heavy. Also, if you, I don't know if you followed it or not, but the recent Vijay Hazare Trophy, where Padikkal and Devdutt Padikkal from RCB and Prithvi Shaw, they made like 6 consecutive hundreds. So I wouldn't say, yeah. So I wouldn't say it is completely balanced, but I think at least BCCI is looking to invest in first class, and it is going well. Hopefully, it becomes balanced in both bowling and batting favor.
Also, I'd like to add that okay, BCCI generates a lot of revenue from the IPL and it gets invested into first class, but also the whole structure has changed. So now you see a lot of India A2s coming up, and Rahul Dravid coaches the under 19 and the A2s as well. So when you see someone like a Mohammad Siraj come in and take the world by storm, like he, I think that was his debut series against Australia, right?
Yeah, it was debuted
Yeah.
at Melbourne.
So yeah, exactly. So when people saw that, okay, he's playing so well in his debut, it was actually because he had played a lot of India A matches, and because they have that experience in of playing in Australia for India A, they are actually almost international ready. Like you saw a lot of people, T Natarajan, you saw Washington Sundar, you saw Shardul Thakur, you saw this guy, what's his name?
Sundar. Are you talking
Yeah,
about Sundar?
yeah, I said Sundar. Okay, I mean in
Akshar
general.
Patel.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, Akshar Patel. Whatever names you take, like a lot of these guys have played a lot of cricket for the India A teams. So when they're actually out playing in international teams, they're actually very much ready for it already.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah,
was
I think.
nice.
Yeah, go on.
I think there is a contrast there with Australia because you almost get the sense from an Australian board perspective anyway that they focus on getting money from the Big Bash, and then the Sheffield Shield competition is almost completely neglected because there have been proposed deals in the past that would be like, oh, we'll put the Sheffield Shield on television, people can watch it, and I've gone, no, we'll do the deal which promotes the Big Bash League and gets us more money related to that. And on that A tour point, I don't think I can remember the last time we had an A tour. Like guys like Wilkowski and things, our top-notch players, they're just preparing by playing Sheffield Shield essentially. I cannot remember the last time we've had an A tour. So I think that is something which India has a massive advantage over you. You're getting guys to tour places, whereas like most of our cricketers have just played domestic cricket in Australia at that level only, and maybe played against an international quality bowler in the Big Bash, and not much else.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, you were asking
Also,
about
you were asking us players, right? Like players to watch out
Yes.
for, or like players.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of Shahbaz Nadeem. So Shahbaz Nadeem is a left-arm orthodox spinner.
Okay.
And I think he has played international as well. He has played 2 or 3 matches. He played the first match against England in this.
Yeah, he did. He did.
The last time that England came here. He's actually been very good throughout his Ranji Trophy career, and I've actually liked him a lot. Also, one of the players that I like is Priyank Panchal. So he's an opener, and he used to open for Gujarat. He does open for Gujarat.
I've heard of the
Priyank
spinner.
Panchal.
I'm sorry, I've forgotten his name because I must admit I hadn't prepared.
Shahbaz Nadeem.
I hadn't heard of the opening batter. I must admit.
Yeah.
I need to look into more of Indian cricket, to be honest.
One more fast bowler that I really like is Ishan Porel. He's been doing good in the circuit, and hopefully
I have heard of him. Yeah, I have heard.
Hopefully he does well. Yeah. And Priyank Panchal, like Suryan said, he's been actually quite unlucky to not be in the team yet. He's a reserve he's a reserve, right? In the England series.
He's not.
Okay, he's not even a reserve. Yeah. So he's been kind of unlucky. He's been scoring a lot of runs. And I think he won Gujarat the Ranji Trophy, which is crazy because
Gujarat, I mean, I think in the past 1 or 2 seasons he hasn't done as well as he did in the past 3 or like in the year before the years before that. But yeah, I think he was really unlucky to not get a spot when he was in his prime, like scoring runs for fun. Like he won the Ranji Trophy for Gujarat, and I think Parthiv Patel was the captain of that Gujarat team.
Okay.
So also coming to the Ranji Trophy aspect of it, our Ranji Trophy teams are divided in divisions. So there are divisions obviously. So the elite group is actually very competitive. You see Surya Kumar Yadav playing against Parthiv Patel, or you see like the names are very familiar. It's not like all of those people are unknown to you. You actually see a lot of people who you have seen in IPL doing well. You actually see them in Ranji Trophy, and it's actually very competitive for that reason. So yeah, Ranji Trophy is actually our first class cricket right now is doing very good. Touch wood.
I'd say based off that, it's probably a higher standard than the Shield because up until last year, where Smith came back for a couple of Shield games, you never hear the big guys playing Sheffield Shield. They're always jetting off somewhere or playing with the Australian team. And on a different note, one stat that blew me away was when I was watching a Jared Kimber video, I think, and he just mentioned how Shreyas Iyer is averaging 55 and striking at 80, and he's not getting in the Indian team. And I have a massive soft spot for Iyer after watching him in New Zealand, and it's like, if he was playing in Australia, he would be probably marked down as the next captain of Australia, and he's not even getting in the India team. So it's like, the levels seem to be a fair way apart.
But we have a lot of catching up to do. We have like 3 World Cups to go.
Yeah, we have 3
I
World
think we
Cups
got
to go.
lucky. We had lucky. We had infrastructure. We had a lot of years of infrastructure.
Yeah. Here, I think they are grooming him for limited overs cricket. I don't know what are his chances in the white ball cricket, but I think India is definitely grooming him for
Red
the
ball
white
cricket,
ball.
you mean?
No, he's grooming.
Yeah.
Like, he's been grooming to be the white ball cricket
No,
captain.
you said you don't know what his chances are in white ball cricket. That's what I
In
said.
red ball cricket, yeah. I don't know what his chances are in test
Yeah,
cricket.
all good. All good.
But-
yeah. No, that's
Yeah. Hopefully he plays. Yeah, he has a good average and strike rate, like you said. Okay. Next question. If you're...
I have a couple more. Yeah. Do you think Axar Patel has a chance of playing in this upcoming series, considering that India seem reluctant, at least at this stage, to go with more than one spinner in the lineup?
Honestly, if Ashwin isn't getting a game, I don't see Akshar Patel getting a game.
Yeah.
So
my
even though
thoughts,
he
to be
bats,
honest, as
but
well.
I honestly don't see India, like, unless there's an injury to both Ashwin and Jadeja, I don't see Akshar Patel playing, to be very honest. Because once Thakur gets fit back again, he'll again come back to the team as that all-rounder.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't see Akshar Patel. But in India, I see him playing a huge part because a lot of pitches here in India are such that you have to play 3 spinners. So there, as you saw in the last series against England, he bowled absolutely magnificently, and he took around 28 wickets, if I'm not wrong.
At an average of like 10.
Yeah, 28 wickets in your debut series against, okay, not the best England side, but it is still a very good side, like in terms of world cricket right
They're
now.
a decent team. They're a decent team.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very nice. So I think he'll play a big role in India, but going abroad, like in Sena countries at least, I think there's some time before he becomes the number 1 spinner.
Yeah, I think it's a very fair point. Yeah, very, very fair.
Yeah, I agree with Suryansh. Yeah.
My answer also same, no difference. So this is a Sarfaraz Khan, Sarfaraz Ahmed meme. Yeah.
I have got 2 more questions, if you're good with me asking those. So
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
So the second last one is, which win in Australia did you find was more enjoyable or better, 2018 or 2021?
I don't think that's a question. I think everyone liked that 2021 win better because of the
What I was
circumstances.
expecting.
Like, because you guys had your A team at that point, because you guys had Smith, you guys had Warner, you guys had everyone available for selection, and we didn't. Like, we had a lot of our guys missing. We had Virat Kohli missing. We had most of our main players missing for a long time in that series. Umesh Yadav
At
was
least
injured.
like 1.5 tests,
Yeah, exactly. Umesh Yadav was injured. Shami was injured. Bumrah didn't play the last game. I think only Pujara and Rahane were the 2 people who played all the 4 games.
I think you're right, I think you're right.
So that's how much our team got affected by injuries and not being available for players not being available for selection. So I think you would at any point have to rate that win over the 2018. Although the 2018-19 win was also special, I'm not denying any of that. People say that, okay, Smith and Warner were not there, so it wasn't as special, but I don't agree to that.
Special,
I think that, I think that was also special. Us winning in Australia against Australia is a big thing. No matter what the Australian team is, it is a big thing for us. But you can't take that 2020-21 away from us.
Yeah, 21 was more of a fairy tale because, like Suryan said, the circumstances were completely different. In terms of cricket, I think 2018 was better because there was some more competitiveness, I would say, even from the Australian side.
No, I don't agree. I honestly don't agree. I think the class of 21 was like the quality of 21 was much better throughout the series. Like in 2018-19, I almost thought at a point that Australian bowlers gave up against Pujara. Like they were just waiting for him to make a mistake. And
because Pujara was exceptional, but I like Kohli and Pujara scoring runs. Like I liked seeing that too. But 21 was definitely better.
Yeah.
I'd say I think
also Prime Minister Narendra Modi commented about that win. The day that we won that series, Modi actually congratulated the team. And it's a big win when your Prime Minister is congratulating you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the answer I expected, to be honest, because from an Australian perspective, we kind of had that excuse in 2018-19 that, we're a mentally shattered team. Smith and Warner aren't there. We don't have an opening partnership. But 2021, I thought the cricket on a broader standard was better. I thought I did think that the sides were a bit more competitive. I thought that Australia were, in 2018, it's kind of felt that we were good in the first test and lost narrowly. We won in Perth, and from then on, we were absolutely blown off the park. I think we just absolutely lost our sort of fitness or drive or emotional will once Pujara started grinding us to a halt. But in 2021, it certainly seemed like the fairy tale was there. Like you said, there was just that narrative and everything just seemed to click. And it was an incredible series.
Also, Ashwin doing his YouTube vlogs.
Oh, oh my God. I need to check out his channel. People are saying that I need to check it out. Is it in English or?
No, it's in
Tamil.
It's in Tamil.
But he has,
English subtitles. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put subtitles on. His band,
even we can't understand Tamil.
His band with Payne, even as a massive Payne fan, he really put Tim in his place there. He's like, but Payne, you've dropped 3 catches. And when I watched that, I'm like, please, Tim, no, this is not what you should be saying right now. Come on, think of the public and everyone you impressed. Now you're just going to ruin it because you said some stupid thing when you've dropped 3 catches and we're losing a test, when we're failing to win a test.
Yeah. I think the Australian accent is a bit tough to pick up when you hear it from the stump mic. But I clearly remember he said dickhead, and I was shocked.
He said dickhead.
Like, did he just say dickhead? And I heard that live on TV, and I was like, what?
It was it became very petty at a point. It became very petty. So he just got helpless.
I think he was in a situation where, as well, like calling someone a dickhead in Australia, you might get a bit annoyed about it, but most people wouldn't care. Like, swearing here seems to be just, we accept it a bit more.
No, that wasn't the point.
Okay.
The point was that he said it and I could hear it on live TV. That was the point.
Okay, that's fair.
The stump mic could actually capture it and I could hear it clearly. The Australian accent is a bit tough for me, at least, to actually like when I listen to it the first time, it actually takes me 2 seconds to actually process what just happened, like what they were saying on the stump mic.
Understandable.
So,
that's understandable. Yeah, we do have a very rough accent at times, to be fair. Like, people from Queensland, I can't understand them sometimes, and sometimes it can get very, very rough.
Right.
I think there's this video of Pant saying something, and I think Nathan Lyon was batting, and he couldn't understand what Pant was saying because of the accent.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. That was funny. Oh my!
That's really
funny. Was funny. Oh my gosh, that was funny.
Also, I remember now. I think I kind of said like the 2018 cricket was competitive because I saw it in, like, I remember it, watching it in the test, right? But like how the Australians looked at Kohli and Pujara. So I have it from that point of view. So that's why I said that. Yeah. Also in 2018,
it's okay. You don't have to defend yourself now. So it's okay.
I had to, but okay, this won't go in the edit. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's all my questions, to be honest. I think okay. I don't have any more questions. So yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll just end it here.
Suryansh will give a ending monologue.
Okay. So you want to give this one? You want to give this ending monologue? Go ahead now. I want to see you do this one.
No.
I always do this. I want to see you do this one. Lockie, you want to do it for us? Do you want to end this here? Like, do you want to say thank you to yourself?
Oh no, I don't think I can.
I'll do it. I'll try to do it, but I think Suryansh will have to give a final take. Okay. So yeah, that was it, guys. From our side, Nightwatchmen Cricket Channel, we had Biased World of Cricket. Okay, I'll do it again. Yeah. So that was it, guys. From our side, Nightwatchmen Cricket Channel, we had Lockie from Biased World of Cricket. Please do follow him. Check his YouTube page out, which he has started recently, and do like, share, and subscribe to our channel and his channel. We have his link in the description. Yes.
Thank you for having me, guys.
You
It was
gave
really
a
good.
perfect take, by the way. Soham gave a perfect take, by the way.
Yes.
I'm glad. My student has learned.
I'm glad.
Also, Loki, thank you for being so amazing and giving us your time. Genuinely appreciated, buddy.
That's all
Thank
good. That
you
was
so
fun, man. That was really enjoyable. Thank you
Yeah.
for having such a great discussion with me. Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun, man. Yeah, I'll stop the recording.